Well, with primary elections now behind us, November 5th is coming into full focus. We're going to be seeing a lot of those national candidates between now and November.
Former President Trump was here to rally a couple of days ago, and 8 News Now investigator Kyle Paine spent the day with the former president's supporters here in one of the country's most sought-after swing states.
Like a foot soldier marching into battle,
read the back,
or the most devoted of sports fans, fanatics even, herding in to see and offer undying support during the most important game of a lifetime.
You got to support the good and reject the bad.
Kim Blandino is one of over 20,000 Trump supporters who filled Sunset Park Sunday, riding his bike in 104-degree heat to spread his message of support for former President Donald Trump, even though, Blandino says, he gave up his U.S. citizenship over 30 years ago when he noticed what he calls a downhill slide in American politics.
It seems like a lot of effort for someone who can't vote for the guy.
No, it's not effort. It's easy.
Also easy for Trump supporters like Blandino to identify where things started to go wrong in this country.
When I saw Ahab and Jezebel, that would be Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton elected, I knew that America...
Some of Trump supporters look back a long time before the Clintons.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Who had legal troubles and criminal investigations of their own to deal with during 8 years in the nation's capital.
Just going back to kind of what the founding fathers wanted for us in this great nation.
And some go even further back, to the beginning, to assess what ails these United States of America, and very quickly come back to the present.
What Biden has done with our economy is terrible.
The economics were better.
The economy, not surprisingly, is the first thing out of the mouths of many at Sunday's rally.
They put their name, signature, and they indicate how they like to vote.
Like Trump volunteer Monica Werner of Las Vegas, who felt inspired to get involved while at a prior rally here in the Valley.
The cause is to get Trump in the office again.
Why?
Why would you not want Trump?
Werner, like so many of the people who registered for free to see their candidate, says this president is better than that president, that Mr. Trump had more respect at home and internationally than President Biden. And without...
You're fired, Joe. You've done a horrible job. You have done the worst job of any president in history. Get the hell out, Joe.
A second term for one...
If we don't win, it's we, it's all of us, it's millions of people. If we don't win, this country is finished. I really believe that.
Donald J. Trump, the future of America is at risk.
And no one can really argue that it was not better under Trump.
Among the many things that seem to unite these thousands of people attending this Sunday morning rally is not only the support for former President Trump, but also their disdain for those who claim the former president is a criminal. Mr. Trump has 4 ongoing criminal cases, with a total of 91 felony counts against him, winding their way through different courts at different speeds. Some of those cases may still be active on Election Day.
Headshots!
In fact, it's a selling point, as you can see.
I'd rather vote for the felon t-shirts!
And here, from all the t-shirt sales, one of the more popular being this I'd rather vote for a felon Trump t-shirt.
So you bought the I'd rather vote for a felon t-shirt?
Yeah.
How come?
Because I'm a felon.
You're a felon?
Yeah.
A felon, Josh Quintana of Las Vegas, says he's registered to vote here, shelling out $25 for this t-shirt, saying Trump is innocent.
They did him dirty. They did him wrong.
Wrong or right, most, if not all, of the people here believe the president when he says...
But this was a rigged decision right from day one, with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never.
And the guy selling those Vote for the Felon t-shirts is reaping the benefits.
Trump has somehow connected with the working guy.
He says the Trump crowd, like Bernie Sanders supporters, believe they're part of a movement, and they all seem to have the hats and shirts and outfits and flags and spend a lot of money on merch to be a part of it and to be shrouded in it.
Let me ask you this. How does a billionaire who's never worked a regular day in their life connect with all these people? That part is amazing.
Amazing, especially when you consider the loyalty these Trump supporters have for their candidate, even as things might get worse for him before they get better.
Yeah.
If he continues to get convicted, would you continue to support him?
Of course. Yeah.
That's
100%. There ain't no ifs, buts about it.
We're letting everybody know that Trump is a like us.
Maurice Simonette, an activist who goes by Michael the Black Man, was at the rally representing the group Blacks for Trump.
I can't breathe!
The Black Lives Matter movement exploded during the Trump administration. All over the country, cities were, it seemed at the time, burning to the ground. The nation's black population had had enough. And then President Trump didn't necessarily embrace the movement.
Many of those who are spreading violence in our cities are supporters of an organization called the Black Lives Matter, or BLM. It's really hurting the black community. It's hurting the black community.
It didn't seem like it was a good time for Black America when Trump was president.
No, it was a perfect time.
A perfect time, says Michael the Black Man, because Trump offered hope to a segment of the population that he says President Biden has left broke.
Right now, nobody can make money. Everybody, all of the stores are closing. Everything is bad. Everything is horrible.
Horrible, a word meaning the very opposite of great, which of course is what Donald Trump claims he can make America again. Reporting at Sunset Park in Las Vegas, Kyle Paine, 8 News Now.
Former President Trump is consistently polling several points ahead of President Biden in Nevada polls. Now, in the 2020 presidential election, Biden took Nevada's electoral votes and 50.1% of the popular vote here.